So here's an update on the geomagnetic storm. You can see that parameters are still very elevated across. You see the parameters are still very elevated. The solar wind speeds are very elevated at this time. We're getting spikes. You see this, it's spiked as high as 800, like a little over 800. It looks like at the peak of the storm. We're seeing a gradual decline in the solar wind speed at this time. We're down to 631.8 kilometers per second at the time I'm making this video. So that's pretty typical. The CME struck yesterday afternoon, and so the effects are going to gradually wane. However, it's still active out there. You can see we recently did experience G2 or moderate storm conditions here as of this morning. So still elevated, still some strong activity going on, but overall effects are starting to wane. Solar wind density, you can see we had some spikes here and there. Got really impressive in the middle of the night. That's why there were such brilliant aurora displays across Canada and the northern United States. You see, it recently did kind of re-elevate over the last few hours or so. It's not off the charts by any means, but definitely something going on there. You can see this is the BT, or we're looking at the magnetic field at this point. You can see that it was in the wee hours of the night. This is why it was so good for North America. You can see the BT was peaking almost, between 20 and 25 NT. This is in the horizontal direction. You can see it's still very elevated. It's decreased since then, again, as the effects of the CME start to wane. But you can see it kind of peaked way up here. That was really impressive data. Definitely some of the most impressive aurora data that I've seen in quite a long time. And here is the BZ, which in itself is impressive. You can see we're going more and more to the north now, which is not so favorable, not so favorable for the northern lights. But because we're still in the midst of the CME, we're still in the wake of the CME, there is a possibility that we could tilt negative again. If that occurs tonight, I would not rule out the possibility for additional aurora displays across North America. Mainly, probably more towards the high latitude regions like in Canada, but maybe the lower 48 if we see more sustained BZ to the south. But you can see this is a very impressive geomagnetic storm. We did peak in the G3 category. You can see the initial strike of the CME, the BZ got down to -16 there. And you see that during the night here, it got as almost down to -20, not quite, but at times it got down to like -18, -19. I remember seeing that, but we're gradually migrating back towards the northward BZ. That's where we're at this morning. So if the BZ can flip again, there's a possibility of some aurora displays across Canada and possibly the northern United States. So make sure you're monitoring the predictions, and we'll see if anything happens. Thanks for watching.